rounded scoop shape. This is, first of all, this athlete already knows how to do a whip. So my first time teaching a whip, I wouldn't have them jump to a super scoop shape because it's a lot harder to do it that way. I'm asking her to do it that way to feel the concept of the scoop to the whip open. So she's going to jump forward to hollow, almost a little piked with her arms in front, and she's going to do a whip back, and we'll see her do that a couple times. Okay, let's watch that last part one more time if we don't mind. Just, I really like the setup here. If you can press play, let that setup show up and press pause again, or do that, that's perfect. Just the idea of that we're going from some surface up, and then you'll see it once it plays, there's a wedge back there, that after we do the back handspring, we're going upward again into our backward roll, so that they're consistently feeling like back handspring, backward roll is the same feeling as back handspring, back flip. So in this station, we're feeling the scoop shape that I want. We're feeling the whip open to the back handspring that rises upward, not throws their arms downward, but rises upward. And then we're feeling, I won't say a lot about it yet, I'll say it later, but we're going to feel military chin into the back pike roll so they feel that they're pulling with their chest to flip. Go ahead and press play, please. All right, so these are concepts we're talking about. Hopefully you're picking up some of these drills, but we'll talk a little bit more about the drills as we go. So let's go on to video number 5. So these are just some ways I'm getting these across once they're going onto a springboard. We're doing the super scoop, we're rebounding. Once I mentioned before, we're doing it onto panel mats so that they can feel their turnover. So you see that just... and we're obviously, when they do the vault, they're not holding their super scoop that long, right? But we're holding it longer because they are more likely to lift their head up. And as soon as they lift their head up when they come off their hands, on the hand mat, they're likely to lift their head up right there. So we're trying to hold our head down. If our head stays down, we'll stay in our super scoop shape. As far as spotting goes, they can spot their hands on the hand mat. Before we move to the next thing, while I'm thinking about it with hands, I like cartwheels to learn their hands just like this. So they're going to put them down sideways. We're not going to point the hand back in towards the first. For beginners, the reason that I say that is we can adjust that later on. But if I don't turn my second hand in, which is common for round-offs, and I like that, but if I'm teaching it just your hands even with each other and sideways, on the line or on the hand mat, if I'm starting with that, they're less likely to reach across. And later on, if I need to get them to turn that second hand in, I can ask them to do it. It's easier to go from hands even sideways to turning your second hand in than it is if you learned your second hand in as a little one learning your cartwheel, and then all of a sudden you're trying to move your hand back. So if you start with hands back, then you have the option of both. You have the option of hands here and hands turned in. So I say that to say that sometimes the second hand turned in causes a problem reaching across. So if you start with both hands sideways and then teach that later, then you have something to work with as far as fixing that reach across. Okay, so you can go ahead and pull up video 6.